Hey guys, I'm Kate. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my final vlog for Preptober. I underestimated or had too much confidence or both how much time I would have in October. So instead of having individual vlogs for all of this, nah, this one has the log lines, the queries, and the synopsis for each of the projects that I will be rolling the dice for. On November 1st at 12:01 a.m. I will roll the Tinkly Skull dice to decide which of the projects I've prepped I will actually work on during November. Also worth noting, throughout the course of this vlog, I will actually be removing potential projects through a couple of the stages. So for instance, I had trouble with one of them in figuring out what the logline would even be, so that was kind of an easy, like, okay, it needs to marinate a little bit more. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump back to when I only had the titles and some really shitty cover art. Okay, my friend just sent me a tweet thread that is perfect for what I am working on. With some like kind of easy formulas, in quotes, that you can use when pitching, when trying to query. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just like copy and paste these into my Scrivener file and see what I can play around with. Done. I'm working on the adventure geocaching story. I'm sorry, excuse me, I have a title now. The Map of Forgotten Things. I'm working on the query for that one. The issue is that there's going to be multiple main characters that have point of view chapters. I'm thinking 3, and so it's just trying to decide which of them is the most compelling for... Actually, do I want to do separate point of views? I might just have like one narrator, but the point being, multiple characters share importance, and so it's like you have to pick one to zone in on for the query, and then also mention the others in the background. So it's just figuring out how to do that. And which character to choose. I think I've got it figured out, but... meh. Okay, right now we have multiple drinks, a snack, and Query Shark pulled up on that screen and some helpful tweets with a mix of me actually trying to do the logline inquiry. And a weird twist, the query for some of these, like a closet full of cauldrons and Under the Influence, actually came to me before the logline. I think the logline for Under the Influence will actually be pretty easy. But I think because I had like a couple beats slightly more figured out, the query actually came a little bit faster. Not a good query by any means, like it still needs some work, but like the start of it. Whereas for the logline, I pulled this from Jennifer's tweets. She has a lot of good query tips and logline tips and whatever. So I have her logline formula and her query formula. Right now the logline one is pulled up. So basically I have this copy and pasted here, and then I'm working my way down to what I think I finally settled on. Okay, let's see. A professional organizer discovers an outlawed, darkly magical cauldron that used to belong to her now missing ex-boyfriend in the mayor's manor. I feel like it gives you an idea of the stakes. You got the protagonist. You have the inciting incident. I don't know that you necessarily, like, for sure have the objective goal of the story, other than, you know, hopefully she's going to figure out more about this cauldron and how it connects to the mayor and the missing ex-boyfriend. So it's not spelled out as clearly, but I think the rest of it works. It might still be a little bit clunky, but I'm I feel solid about it. So that when someone asks, I can be like, oh, it's a paranormal mystery about a professional organizer who discovers an outlawed darkly magical cauldron that used to belong to her now missing ex-boyfriend in the Mayor's Manor. The Mayor's Manor part is really what's getting hung up at the end here, that it is in the Mayor's Manor. Before then I left out the ex-boyfriend stuff. I had it here and then removed it, talking more about trying to give like days before the re-election party, days before the mayor's set to be re-elected. So I feel like the Mayor's Manor is getting a little bit lost, but you know what? Maybe if I just reframe it a little bit, hold on. Okay. A professional organizer discovers an outlawed, darkly magical cauldron in the Mayor's Manor, one that used to belong to her now missing ex-boyfriend. I feel like it hits a little bit better. It's still too long though. Anyways, let's go ahead and switch over to Under the Influence and see if I can get that one better. Alright, I ended on notorious beauty gurus on a brand trip to a remote island start disappearing one by one. I think it works. I think it works okay. Alright, I think I got the easiest one so far. For the map of forgotten things, former friends reunite to win a wacky billionaire's worldwide treasure hunt. Dun dun! We have a little bit of intrigue with former friends, and we know what they're after. Other iterations of this, I did have like repair their strained relationship and versions of that, but are you bothering my cat? Buffy dog. You silly. Anyways, I think that one is like short, sweet, to the point, and hopefully still conveys like former friend. I did have ex-friend, and then I did have the number of friends at one point. Ex-friends band together. 7 ex-friends band together, and blah. So anyways, I think this is the one. The bold one's what I settled on. And I actually came up with part of that while I was out on a walk. That's why Winnie the Pooh is now gone and we're back to Boba Cat. I do have family coming in this weekend though, so I'm going to try and I need to go and get food so that we can cook for them, and we'll see if along the way anything comes to me for the other 3. So I still need something for 2 smoking guns, the intuitions, and the talent show. Okay, I did not come up with anything other than the intuitions want a break from the gods, goddesses, take a vacation, leaving the poor humans up to the whims. No, intergalactic, cataclysmic fallout. We'll see if I can work that in. That is not you food. I think this accurately conveys how I'm feeling. Just keyboard mash. 2 intuitions take a much needed vacation from the whims of the goddesses / higher beings to discover their passion, leaving the poor humans without internal guidance and karma to find its own hero. None of these words make fucking sense. No one else is going to understand that I mean like karma is the biggest of the biggest gods, and that the intuitions are like what humans feel is intuition, and that the gods are actually bad and that they don't care that much about the humans because they have their individual heroes that they're just trying to like navigate through. And also the gods, goddesses, higher beings are for the most part just kind of selfish and want to stick around. The more people that believe in them, the stronger they are. And so they stick around in the worlds that they are believed in. And karma is the one that's believed in most of all. So karma is everywhere. Unhopeful. It's just so long. Are other fantasy ones this long? That's what I need to look up. Really just 2 intuitions take a vacay. Chaos ensues. Did you just get bullied off of your spot? You did. If the bell peppers don't turn out, at least the inside is really good, and I made too much of it, so. I did read up in the comments on the recipe that we're like adding the cheese at the start, like browns it. I was like, uh-oh, I definitely did that. Did not scroll to see the comments early enough, but that's okay. Again, the inside is good. Oh, that's a mess. Okay. Am I eating directly out of the pan? Yes. What I want to do in the meantime is actually look up logline-esque on Netflix on shows. But the problem is probably shouldn't be like the 3rd season of this one, I know. Let's see. Like The Watcher, what are you? Ominous Letters, Strange Neighbor. Oh, so this one doesn't even count. Although, it does look good. I will add it to my... Okay, so like Hunter x Hunter. To fulfill his dreams of becoming a legendary hunter like his dad, a young boy must pass a rigorous examination and find his missing father. Okay. In a small Texas town where high school football looms large, Coach Eric Taylor leads through wins and losses, both on and off. Okay, yeah. She plunges into a world of international crises and political intrigue. Stunned when his longtime boyfriend moves out, a New York City real estate broker faces the prospect of starting over and dating him in his 40s. Okay. The Good Place got it in 2 sentences, but I'm seeing that it is hitting all of those sort of criteria. Let's see if there's any other fantasy. Lucifer, which I love. Bored with being the Lord of Hell, the devil relocates to Los Angeles where he opens a nightclub and forms a connection with a homicide detective. Okay, it does also clue in on the genre there. This family-oriented retelling of the King Arthur legend finds Merlin arriving in Camelot where he hones his magic skills with the help of his uncle. Ooh. A dethroned queen bee at a posh private high school strikes a secret deal with an unassuming new student to exact revenge on each other's enemies. Okay, so we got the 2 of them there too. Also add to my list. I have 40 minutes, so probably like 30 now. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, I got something for 2 smoking guns. I also settled on this for the intuitions. 2 intuitions take an unauthorized vacation from being humanity's guiding force. The highest being and their terrible boss, Carmel, comes to find them. I debated about hunts them down, but I've not decided yet. And then, a renowned outlaw must discover who in the saloon murdered both the sheriff and the deputy before she herself stands accused. Ho ho ho. Eh? Does that tell you for sure that it's like a closed circle mystery? Does it tell you that it's like slightly futuristic Western? No. But this is how I'm envisioning it. Ooh, okay, not bad. Okay, I asked my partner if he could listen to me say my log lines and if anything tripped him up, if it sounded like, yeah, that's a movie, or like, yeah, that's a book. He said he got this one, mystery, dun. This one made sense, although I will say he mentioned comparing it to like Willy Wonka-esque, which I think is kind of fun. I hadn't thought about it like that, but I see it. He helped me change this one to forbidden instead of outlawed. This one, he was like, yeah. And then said, not quite sure about this one. Oh. Anyways, I spent most of my time yesterday when I was on Netflix looking up some fantasy titles and trying to see what sort of loglines they used. One of the problems I'm running into is that I don't know that this fits, not standard tropes, but like standard fantastical creatures. Like what, I don't have a witch, I don't have angels or demons, there's not a devil, there's, you know, and the closest I tried to find was like The Good Place almost meets like Good Omens, I guess. And even then I was just like, so I don't know that it's the best. That'll be one I'm gonna keep tinkering with, but I am gonna go ahead and eliminate an option because no matter what I did, I could not figure out the right logline for the talent show to get it to be what I wanted. And I think part of that is because I don't know what I want yet. I was like, if they lose the talent show, do they die? The way I'd originally thought about this is it basically is like we see the contestants, you know, throughout the course of years and basically
where they're at, that's unhelpful. Bad things happen is mostly the point, but I don't think they die. And then also I had an idea for like a comeuppance at the very end that I thought would be really interesting, but basically the whole book would have to go to that, and it just, anyways, it needs to marinate still is what I'm saying. So I'm going to move the talent show down to this one, where I also decided not to work on Secret Theater because I'm actually just going to once again wait for David, and we'll do that one together during Camp Nano instead. It's funny because I do have another idea that has been marinating for a while. Should I use something other than marinate? Brewing. All very food related. Anyways, but because it is fantasy, a YA fantasy, and because I'm still working on Project Death, I don't really want to do it for Nano. So we're gonna see how this whole thing works for me, doing the logline, then the query, then the synopsis, and maybe if it works well, then when I go to that project after Project Death is done, I'll have a new method that's, you know, hopefully something that might work better for me. All that to say, we're down to 5, and I still have the queries to do and the synopses to do, and that is what more of today's goal shall be.
Whoever can explain the Krebs cycle gets a lump of gold. Isn't learning for us.
All right, we are taking our 15-minute screen break after our hour-long sprint. I am feeling so good. I did manage to get, so if I have 5 stories left, I got 2 of the queries mostly done, and then 2 that are like half done, and then 1 that I need to start. I'll say that the queries aren't great, but they do follow the structure and are helping me flesh out the story more, which is also good. They're not great because I actually have to have more placeholders than you would expect. There's like town names, the character names that I haven't done anything with yet, and a few other things that frankly just need like a little bit more thought, but aren't make or breaks right now, I think. It'll be fun for me. I'm thinking now that whichever project I do for Nano, no matter how far I get during November, what would be fun is to go back to these queries and plug in what I actually, you know, figure out from writing them and make them better so I can have like a kind of comparison. Because also some of these are like, I have a couple options in brackets, but I haven't decided what I want the story to be. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see the end result. Oh, run, run, run. Zelda! Oh, hi, Buff. Zelda! Alright, I just finished watching Hocus Pocus 2 with my friend, but I figured I would show y'all an example of what I ended up with in terms of the query. So we're going back to the frickin' intuitions. Of all the jobs in existence, being an intuition is the worst. Just ask XYZ and ABC. The only 2 intuitions for all the Milky Way. Every nanosecond is spent trying to guide Earthlings, blanks, blanks, and more toward the will of the higher beings who spare no sympathy for XYZ or ABC's own passions or desires. So when the worst boss of all, Karma, comes asking for XYZ and ABC to complete their biggest job yet, merging 2 planets' populations, question mark, the 2 intuitions have a better idea.
vacation. It doesn't take long for the gods, goddesses, higher beings, and those barely believed in blips to realize that the worst job of all turned out to be the most important. Within days, humanity has descended into chaos without their intuitions or good gut calls, telling them what to do, and people, Martians, and others are dying in droves. Worse yet, gods, goddesses, and higher beings begin disappearing without the intuitions influencing humanity's beliefs, and their vacation quickly becomes an intergalactic high-speed chase with cataclysmic consequences for the galaxy. But, for the first time ever, the intuitions are having fun. You know, it's better than I thought it would be. Which is not saying much, so. Oh, I'm really going for that, like, founding father look now. All right, well, indeed. And that is it for my Preptober. That is it in quotes, because actually today is the 24th for me. If you recognize this shirt in the next vlog that I post up, it's because I have been filming day 1 of NaNoWriMo. Today was day 1 for me. It's crazy. I already got one of my fun little inspirational quotes or prompts from my advent calendar. And unfortunately I did not get everything done in the time that I wanted for my prep, but actually I'm gonna work on it a little bit because I will be taking many long flights throughout the next week. So while I'm taking those flights, I will actually be working on the project that I chose, the synopsis for that project. So I'm excited. I won't do any more writing until NaNoWriMo is actually here, but I got one synopsis partially done. And I'm excited to work on the others, and actually the really fun thing and all of this prep is that it's made me more excited for each of these projects. So even though I'll only be working on one for NaNoWriMo, I'm excited to work on them. They're all like really fun, and it just kind of, it pumped me up even more for them. You know, obviously I discounted 2 of the projects, but that feels okay, that feels good. You know, and maybe those projects will come back in the future and I could do this work for them. But yeah, it's just, I thought that I would actually get rid of more of them, I guess is the surprising thing for me. I thought I would get rid of more and be like, no, actually I'm not interested, but it's just had an opposite effect. And as of right now, not having drafted them yet, I do think it has been really nice to try and go from title, logline, query, and then synopsis. So always fun to change up your writing system a little bit. But that is going to be it for me. Please do comment down below. Let me know how Preptober went for you. Let me know if you're trying to squeak in a last little bit of prep before NaNoWriMo starts. Let me know if you also, for some reason, are starting NaNoWriMo a pinch early. Or let me know if you're going full rebel and have been working on an old project or just continuing it in to NaNoWriMo. And as ever, if you want to share anything about your project or any other epiphanies you've had over the course of prep, I would love to hear them. But I am sending you all the good vibes for NaNoWriMo, all the good vibes for the rest of your prep, and I would love some good luck on mine. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon with a new video and with some NaNoWriMo cheer. Okay, bye.